The journey from not enough money to plenty of money. If you are taking an action course, as so many of our physical human friends have attempted, what that says is, I don't have enough money, I need to figure out how to get more money, which means I need to figure out what I can do to exchange myself for more money, which means I need to figure out who's willing to pay money for what, and I need to figure out what those markets are, and which markets have a glut of people in them, and which markets are starving. And then I need to train myself so that I fit into the right market, and then I need to find the money so that I can get the training, and I have to find some way of surviving while I get that training. And then I have to convince others that are competing for those jobs that I am the one that should have those jobs. And then, as I sit across the desk trying to convince someone that I am the one for the job, then as I receive the job, then I've got to do everything that I can to make sure that they understand that they made a good choice in me. And then I have to adjust to the money that they decide is appropriate for me to make under these conditions. And then I have to convince them that I'm really worth more money. And then I have to compete with all of the others that are trying to convince them that they are worth more money. And we say, oh, that is so hard. It's no wonder you're discouraged. We'd be depressed too under those conditions. In other words, there are so many circumstances and events that you have to try to change, which you have no power to change. But when you understand that instead of trying to take that long, slow, convoluted, very hard, very difficult, very tedious action journey, if you would decide to take an emotional journey, and let us tell you what the emotional journey involves. I've got to go from worry to hope. That's it. I just have to talk to myself right here, right now, so that I feel a little more hopeful and a little less worried. And do you know that you could do it in a minute? And then you could do it in another minute and another minute, and you could train yourself in less than a day, certainly in less than 30 days, to have hope instead of worry, and then the universe will give you the job, or the money, or the resources, or the avenue, or the avalanche, or the endless circumstances and events that will flood dollars into your experience. Because you do not have to do those things that others have taught you that you need to do because they thought they needed you to do them so that they could feel good.